Hello, I'm Jodediah, and welcome to a talk that I gave at the 2017 Lost Levels. Um, so, if you kind of think of a three-circle Venn diagram, this talk is going to cover games, but also infinity and life advice. There's maybe life advice isn't the correct third thing, but there's definitely something that goes in that circle. And I'm going to talk about some intersection of those three. So, there's a book called Finite and Infinite Games that I've never read, but I've gotten the summary and I've formed a lot of theories about what this book might be about. Um, and basically, if you think of a game, you're probably thinking of a finite game because it has a beginning and an end. But an infinite game, that's usually abstract concepts like art and language and life. And the rules of an infinite game are that you want all the players to play for as long as possible, and you want to bring in new players all the time. So you can think of an infinite game as a sort of self-perpetuating game. And just to apply it really quick, life as an infinite game, you don't want anyone to stop playing life. You don't want anyone to stop living. So part of playing life is making sure everyone else plays for as long as possible. And you want to bring in new players as well, because someday the players that currently exist aren't going to exist anymore. So, there's some weird, keep the species alive shit happening as well, I suppose. But maybe even on a more macrocosmic scale, it's cool to bring in, to, adopt a child and have your own small player to teach all the rules and, ins and outs you've learned across your own life as an infinite game. So yeah, that's a really cool idea, and I thought about it a lot, and then I started thinking a lot in metaphors. I was using blank as this comparative tool with which to see the world, and you can find out a lot of interesting things if you just throw some random shit in there. I know for sure a really valuable one to me is blank as game, and actually that is what I call game goggles. When you view everything as a game, it's kind of like this optimistic, playful tool for engaging with stuff as a player instead of as something else that's less fun, right? Even if it's something shitty like a relationship breakup or a death in the family, gosh, I'm getting really dark. If you view these things as a game, it's okay, this is part of the game. This thing happened that's bad. And usually when bad things happen in games, like you die. If you die in a game, it's like a learning experience, Mario, or even chess. You lose a piece, and you learn, maybe I made some sort of mistake that I should refrain from doing in the future, because I want all my pieces to live and be happy, right? I mean, come on. And bad breakup, I feel like one way to view bad things as a game is to view them as a learning experience, and not a negative bad thing that happened to you, but as an opportunity to go over some thoughts and grow. I'm going too deep into this. I'm doing too much tangent. But yeah, blank is game goggles. If you view the entire world as a game, every step that you take is an invitation to dance. Every second you spend with another person is invitation for conversation. And everywhere around you, every moment that you exist is an invitation to play. And that's what the game goggles are about, these little invitations. And eventually you learn to see them. And you're like, hell yeah, I'll accept that invitation. My RSVP is down. Let's do the thing. So yeah, that's one thing that I got from thinking about this, but there's one other important thing, and it's a term that I created called voluntary infinity. And I was thinking about finite games and how boring they are because they end. And I tried to apply these rules of infinite games to finite games, and I got voluntary infinity, which is if all the players of a finite game agree to keep playing, if everyone consents to continual play, the finite game can be viewed as infinite until it ends. Because if it hasn't ended yet, who's to say when it will? It's a mystery. It's infinite, right? So that's voluntary infinity. And to give that an example for you, one fantasy I have is League of Legends. Shitty community, super competitive game. Everyone's out there to like kill each other and blow up your buildings to win the game and get some virtual currency. But like, imagine for a second, these 9 other people, these random strangers that you're getting matched with, it's highly improbable, almost to the point of being considered impossible, that you will get matched with these same 9 people again. And so, that considered, every game that you play is a miracle, right? This is never happening the same way again. There's so many variables. You are in a one-of-a-kind experience. And why would you spend that killing each other? Let's do some open role play, right? Like, let's have a tea party. Let's dance in the middle lane. Let's acquire infinite quantities of gold so that capitalism is no longer an issue, and just have fun experimenting with weird things that we never do normally, like sandbox mode. Let's all agree to play sandbox together. Or like, let me go to the dragon's nest and be like, yo, this is my home now. If you want to enter, you have to tell me a funny joke, Like, there's so much room to throw out the rules that you don't like and create something new and beautiful with all these people. And sure, yeah, maybe it's not infinite. I mean, we're all limited by our bladders here, but, I feel like mysterious ways of playing, not mysterious, but like queer play, like unusual play, like speedrunning, or turning a competitive game into an RPG. Like, there's so many ways to play outside of what people think play for a certain game should be that's really interesting. Like in chess, I have this thing, I don't know the number of the space, like the letter number, like coordinate, but I have my 1 pawn and I move it forward every turn, and if they don't do anything, then I get their king, and if they do kill that pawn, then I get upset and quit. And that's my chess strategy. That's how I play chess. And I just think it's really fantastic. It's never happened, but just the thought of someone letting me move a singular pawn and nothing else until I win a game of chess, just like sitting by and letting me do it, I don't think I'd even win the game. Like, I'd get to the point where I could win the game, and I'd be like, you know what? You're amazing. Let's ditch this chess game and go get dinner together, right? Like, whew. Magic is real, or it could be real. We just have to believe in it, and it'll be a thing. All right. Before I go on one final tangent, I'm going to do a quick summary of the points I've covered. All right. 1, there's a book called Finite and Infinite Games. I've never read it, but it sounds freaking rad. Okay. 2, game goggles. Teaching yourself to view every situation as an invitation to play, and play as this like fundamental human state of existence. I didn't cover that. I'll go over that in the epilogue. All right. And 3, voluntary infinity, aka a form of queer play in which all participants agree to just keep on playing, ignoring a win condition, ignoring any loss conditions, and just perpetuating the play space as a method of play in itself. All right, that's the summary. Now, there's 2 things I'd like to visit. 1 is hope and hoping for cool things to happen through your play. And 2, I probably should have made this number 1 so I could have said it while it was fresh in my mind, but I'm forgetting, and I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so hope. I feel like a huge aspect of both voluntary infinity and game goggles is that when you play, you want things to be fun, but not everything is going to be fun. There's also play that isn't fun. Right? Like, there's games that are uncomfortable. There's games that are dark. There's games that are scary. There's games that make you cry. There's games that make you ruminate on your past and feel regret. Like, there's so many different types of games, but there's also like fun games. And I think everyone wants to have fun. So we're all like, yeah, let's do the fun. but you need to hope for the fun because it's not always going to happen. And I want to talk really quick about two different types of hope. There's passive hope and there's active hope, right? So passive hope is like, I wish this thing will happen and I'm not going to do anything, but I'm just going to wish. I'm going to hope. I'm hoping for the thing to occur. Okay? All right, now hope type 2, active hope. That's when, yeah, I want this thing to happen, but I'm going to take action. I'm going to continually take steps no matter how, like, fractionally tiny these steps are. I'm going to make objective, measurable progress toward this goal. And that is active hope, right? And active hope is what you need to do when you got the game goggles on. You need to always play and hope that your play results in fun. It won't always, but you can't lose hope. You need active hope. You need to be acting on that play. If you do passive hope, you're not playing all the time and you're just hoping for an opportunity for fun play to emerge. But that's passive hope, and passive hope is toxic because the longer the thing doesn't happen, the higher the chance you're going to start having negative thoughts, blaming it on things, maybe yourself, maybe the universe, maybe another person, maybe an abstract concept, but you're going to start blaming it on things. And that's the result of passive hope, is blaming and toxicity and sadness. You need to do active hope, which is optimistic and active and magical and beautiful. Always try. And there's a second point I really wanted to cover, and I forgot what it is, so I'm going to... I remembered it while talking about my summary. Maybe if I repeat the summary, it'll come back to me. All right, summary, 3 points. Cool book, haven't read it. Thought about it a lot, though. Game goggles, always play. That's where the hope came in. Voluntary infinity. Nope, it's not coming to me. I'll probably remember it when I listen to this again and hear me be like, oh, here's the point. But, you know, I'm going with the ebb and flow of the universe. We're going to move on. And I hope you have a fantastic 24 hours ahead of you. I hope that your next 24 hours are measurably better than your previous 24 hours. And that you do some game goggling and some queer play, because games are cool. Postscriptum, my name's Jodediah Holmes. I probably love you. And the only way I wouldn't love you is if you haven't said hi yet. So please say hi, and let's be friends. Farewell. Holy crap, that was 16 minutes? I have 16 minutes of audio? Who's going to watch all that?